Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Tuesday, the 10th of May. I'd like to talk to you a little bit today about our own houses. I was preparing for worship for next Sunday and getting my sermon ready and got thinking about spring cleaning. Might have something to do with the fact that we're moving houses and I'm dragging my feet about that spring cleaning thing. But recognizing, that spring cleaning is an important thing to do. We need to take that time to really take a look at what we've collected over the year, or the years, as the case may be, and figure out what needs to stay and what we could really just toss out. And thinking about the purposes of our homes. When my husband and I are moving into a new house, our first own home, we rent one right now, and we're moving into our own house. And we're doing a lot of work, painting and doing new flooring and things like that to get it ready. And the amount of work that's going into it, at first I thought it would be a little bit daunting and a little, have a labor, not so much of love, but it's really becoming a labor of love because the longer we work at it, the more I feel like it's becoming our home. But also, more importantly, I think it's becoming a place where I am looking forward to inviting people to join us, or inviting people to come into our home and to offer hospitality. And thinking about that, sort of the house and spring cleaning and inviting people in, really made me aware of something that I think as Christians, especially in this day and age, we really should be paying close attention to. And that is recognizing what we are responsible for. It seems to me that sometimes Christianity really gets a bad rap because there's this reputation that Christians sometimes have about having this. They believe in Jesus. Obviously, that's what we believe. We're Christians. But they also believe that we have to run out and slam our faith down people's throats. That our prime directive, so to speak, is to go out and make Christians of every person we meet. And indeed, there is a part of Scripture that says we're to go out and baptize in the name of the Father, the Son, of the Holy Spirit. We're called to bring people to faith. However, nothing says we're supposed to drown people as we baptize them. And we're not supposed to force them. We're not supposed to hit them over the head with a frying pan or the Bible and drag them into our house of worship, and force them to worship. I think what we really need to do as Christians, and this is what I think I'm working on myself, is recognizing that until I get my own house in order, I don't even want to invite someone in. I don't want to invite someone to come into my home until it's ready. Right now, there's no flooring in my house, and the colors, we've only got one coat of paint on the wall. There's not a coffee cup to be offered, let alone a pot of coffee to make. I am not ready yet to invite someone to come into my home where I can show them hospitality and show them love, because that really is what I believe hospitality is all about, is showing another person love. Once I do that work of cleaning up my own house and getting it ready and getting chairs to sit on and a pot to make coffee in and mugs to hold it in, when that work has been done, then I'll be able to invite people, to call them up and say, or go to my next door neighbor and say, hey, I'm new in the area and my name is Rachael and I'd love to have you come over and visit me when you'd like. I can't go over to them or call them up and say, you have to come over right now. It's a mandate. You must do it. I have to be willing to say, I offer you the invitation. And if you would like to come over and get to know me better, you're more than welcome to do so. And you know what? If you're more comfortable having coffee on the front porch, I got a couple of chairs there. We got a beautiful view. We can do that. And when you're ready, if you are ever ready, then I'll invite you in and maybe we can have coffee in the house. Or when we get to know each other better, we'll break bread together. We'll make a meal for you. Or rather, Rob will make a meal because I'll just kill you. My cooking's horrible. But the idea is that when I invite someone into my home, it needs to be because I truly wish them to come and visit with me. But I also need to be aware that they need to be comfortable. And I need to be aware that this is someone that I would like to invite into my home. I don't know, I think when I was younger, much younger, they still had door-to-door vacuum vacuum cleaner salesman going around. We lived in Niagara Falls. I remember one guy came to the house, and my mom, always very polite, invited this guy in. But it was very difficult to get him to leave. He was very, very pushy about his product, and inviting him in maybe wasn't such a great idea. That's something else we have to be aware of, is that as Christians, when we invite someone into our home, into our house, whether it's our church or our home or whatever that might be, we have to be willing to offer them hospitality. It is not enough to simply open the door and say, hey, come in, have a cup of coffee. We have to be willing to sit down and talk to them. And hospitality does not mean brainwashing. It doesn't mean convincing. It doesn't mean shoving your ideas and your opinions down their throat. It means having a conversation, which means that we might listen. We might learn something else. We might answer questions, or we might have questions to ask of the other. And when we can do that as Christians, when we can honestly say, come on into my home, I appreciate who you are as you are enough that I would like to get to know you better, and I would hope you would like to get to know me better. That is when we have the opportunity to say, this is who I am. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that we are called to love one another. I believe we are called to seek out and serve Christ in other people, which means I'm going to respect your dignity, and I'm going to respect your thoughts, and I'm not going to try to do something harmful to you or pray the devil out of you or something like that. This idea of welcoming someone into our home and offering hospitality has to come from a place of goodness, not a place of conniving, not a place of I can't remember what the word is, but when you're trying to manipulate somebody into something. I don't think that's okay. But we also have to be aware that there will be times when it's not appropriate to invite someone into our home. If they're threatening us, then obviously we're not going to invite them in. If we're not in a good space, it doesn't do the cause of Christianity any good if I'm having a really bad day and I realize that I have nothing I can offer. I can't even offer a cup of coffee to another person because I am so overwhelmed with my own stuff. Now it could be that person may have come because we are overwhelmed, and that they can come into our home and they can offer to us peace and help and prayer and all those things. But that speaks of an existing relationship. We've probably already had them into our home, or we've been into theirs. But we need to be aware that when we offer an invitation to come on over and visit, come on over and share my hospitality, the other person, the person being invited, has the right to say no. Or they have the right to come and sit and only drink half a cup of coffee and realize, this conversation is making me uncomfortable. I think I'm going to leave. And we need to walk them to the door and say, well, I'm glad you could come for a little while, and I hope you can come again sometime. We may even have to say, I'm sorry if I've offended you. And I'm not so sure that, that Christianity has a really great track record with that part. The idea that we might apologize when we get it wrong. Because the fact is, we're human, and we do get it wrong quite often. And we need to remember that hospitality that we offer needs to be able to be reciprocated. It needs to go back and forth. It cannot be, I offered you hospitality, so you are forced to receive it. It doesn't work that way. I offer hospitality because I feel called to offer it. If you do not feel called to receive it, then I accept that. And I think sometimes that's where we fall down. So that's what I'm working on today. That's my thought for today, is how can I, especially when I'm getting ready for my new house, how can I make my home, myself, my church, my physical home, a place that is hospitable, that is warm and welcoming and not overwhelming, a place where you can come and be with me because I'm a Christian, or a place where you can come and be with me just because I'm Rachael, who happens to be a Christian. But either way, a place where you feel that you can be yourself, Christian or not. No pressure. No expectation. An invitation? Absolutely. But no expectation that that invitation will be followed up on any kind of timeline, if at all. As a Christian, I will offer the invitation to share with you about my faith and why I think it's so important. But I'll also be willing to listen to what you have to say and any invitation you have to share with me about what you believe or don't believe, because that is hospitality. And I think that is what Christians are really called to, is an extreme form of hospitality. So as we continue to get ready to move into our new home, pray for me or send up good thoughts or whatever you do, that I'll get all my books moved, all our stuff moved, but that it will also be a home filled with hospitality, a home filled with love and peace and hope. An open door where people are welcome to come in, and if they wish to leave, they're welcome to leave as well. That's my hope for you, is that you will find this channel to be a channel of hospitality too. So have a great day, God bless you, and I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael.